Welcome Taurus to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 17th of June for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now I'm sharing your event chart right at the start of the week, which gives us some very important pointers, not least your ruler Venus is coming to the end of its journey through the sign of Gemini, which can be about sparkling conversations. But for you, the conversations may have been a lot to do with money. And Mercury, the ruler of that sign, is so close to Venus, they come into an exact unison on Monday, which could be exciting. So some good financial news could start this week. But just be aware that Neptune, the planet of dreams, is squaring up this duo. And Neptune's in a very idealistic part of your chart. So if you are discussing a loan, a contract, it's very important that you retain a very grounded and earthy part of your nature. You're applying that to the equation. But later on Monday, both Mercury and Venus move into the sign of Cancer, which is about feelings. But for you, it's going to see a speeding up. There's going to be an acceleration this week. That's actually going to be quite exciting, but you can't rush conversations, I don't feel, around your worldly interactions. And the reason for that, Taurus, is that Pluto, the planet of transformation, of power, is in a very dominant part of your chart. You can see right up there on that 10th house cusp. And Mercury and Venus almost immediately come into what's known as a quincunx with Pluto on Thursday with the summer solstice and the Sun travelling into Cancer. The Sun also starts to get into that relationship too. What does it mean? A quincunx is 150 degrees. Because the collective that's entering Cancer is about feeling but also expressing your ideas quicker, you just need to be aware that if you rush an important conversation, particularly around a professional matter, it may turn out that you're not going to be perceived in the way you quite want. So just managing your dialogue, planning the discussion, making a list of what's really essential to say is going to be part of the formula that will work for you. But the summer solstice is such an important day on Thursday because Western tropical astrology is based on the seasons, not in terms of the Earth's tilt, its relationship to the constellations above. And therefore, the Sun's move here brings in a 13-week period when you can be thinking very much about your communications to people, but also it has to feel right because that's what Cancer is about. But it's a passionate sign, it's very much about leadership. And if you've got ideas that you want to share with people, expect to be very busy over the next few weeks. Which brings us to the full moon on Saturday. This is in the sign of Capricorn. Opposes the Sun. The moon in Capricorn is its most vulnerable position. It's detrimented here. It's possible, therefore, that something you want to talk about opening up your world in some kind of exciting way, perhaps a travel plan. There may be somebody close to you who's not quite as invested in what you would like from the situation as you would like, but you could be quite surprised about what their objections are. So there could be a conversation. If it doesn't occur at the end of this week, it could occur over the following 2 weeks, which just is a little bit of a surprise. So something that may not be obvious at the present time could come into the open. And maybe someone's been holding some information, not necessarily in a sinister way, perhaps they've been a little bit reticent about airing how they feel, but it could come out. So do expect some intense conversations from the weekend onwards for the following fortnight. But this is a week for sure when you can use your communicational skills to good effect. It is important that you're realistic because of the role of Neptune, and just be aware of what the expectation is of anyone that you're discussing things with, particularly if your ideas are more cutting edge, they're fresher, they're different. You may have to deal with this rather stodgy person who wants to keep things as they were. Or is it your own reticence to changing your interaction with the world that you may need to challenge? Have a great week, Taurus. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now.